going to do in this example is build a VBA script and then convert it into an Office script. So we'll just do an example here, like name, and we'll say Eddie, John, Joe, Sue, Mary, Justine, Diane, and then let's say, I don't know, let's say we wanted every second cell. So for every name here, we want every second name to copy over here. VBA, this is pretty easy to do. We can create a module, call it like mod second, every second record. And we could do something like this. We could say sheet one dot range A1. Let's do dim range A as range, and then we'll do range B as range. And then we'll set them just so we know where they're at. So sheet one range A2, that's our starting point. And then range B is going to be, E2 will be the copy location. And then we can say do until range A dot value is blank. And we can loop. And the first thing we want to do is copy range A over to B. And we could use the copy, but that's not a good way to do it. You can just do range B dot value equals to range A dot value. And then we really just have to increment range A to range A, but offset by 2. And then B will just be range B offset by 1. So when we execute this, which I've just done, we get every second ready. So there's a record. So we got Eddie, Joe, Mary, and Diane. All right, very basic. Now let's try to do that in Office scripting. So we're going to go over to Automate, and we'll create a new script, and we'll do it from the code editor because it gives you a nice starting point, and it gives you a lot of the active objects that you need. We're not going to change the color of the cells, so we can comment that out. It's 2 forward slashes for comments, and in VBA it's just the apostrophe. So we could say like we want to do a do loop, so we'll say do, and then we can say let range A equal, in this case, selected sheet, which we already have that object, so we can say selected sheet dot range, get range. We could actually set the range of the entirety of the scope of this and then just cycle by 2, do a for each and just skip everyone. So that's another way we can do this. But yeah, we'll do it this way. So we're saying let this be equal to A2. We actually probably want to do more of like a get cells in this instance. Otherwise, we have to increment up this this row. So we can do that too. We could say like we have to do that outside the do. We could say let row equals 2. And then I think the joiner is still ampersand, but I could be wrong. It could be a plus sign. Yeah, it might be a plus sign. Yeah. Okay. And then we want to let range B equals selected sheet dot get range. And it's going to be B plus In this instance, it will also be row, but that's going to change. So we'll create row B just so that we have that. And we'll make this one row A just so it's obvious. So we can say row A is 2. And we'll say row B is 2, because those are both the same starting points for where the data is going to go. And we should be able to do something like range B dot get value or set values. Oop. Set values or set value. And then we'll look at what the parameters are. And so we can put in any value. So we'll say we want range A value. Range A dot get value. And it looks like it needs a parameter. Oh, it might just need the open and closing of the string. Okay, this is just giving me a warning so that this doesn't necessarily mean it's an error. Okay, good. And then all we want to do is very similarly, we want to increase the row. So we can say row A. And then I think we could do plus plus, just like you can do in C or C++. And we want to do that twice because we want to skip every other record. And then row B, we just want to do it once. And I keep forgetting the semicolon. And then we can say while range A, I think we have to do this while in like this. So while range A dot get value equals not equal to not equal to that. This should work. And let's name our script. Let's call it a copy every second record. Didn't like that. There we go. Okay, let's run it. See if it works. Range A is not defined. Okay, so I guess I have to tell it that selected sheet. I thought I was defining it here. Maybe it won't let me define it here. I'll define it up here with a constant, just in case that's what is making it bark at me. Oh, I didn't put semicolons at the end. That might be why I never recognized the declaration. Hopefully that was it. Okay. Yeah, we could view the logs. In this case, I think that's what it is, but we'll find out right now. Oh. And we will save this and we will run it. And it says the script ran with errors. Range A is not defined. Invoking read methods inside of a loop could lead to slow performance of the script. For more information, okay. Cannot find range name range A. I'm telling it that that's what it is. Let's see why it doesn't like it. All right, I guess we could just let it know like, hey, let range A equal workbook.get active cell. Hopefully that makes it stop barking at me. And we're instantly not going to use that active cell, but it may need this to initiate, the the variable. Okay, and there it goes. It worked. Let's clear out the thing. Script is running. It looks like it's still running, so it didn't stop. So we can do something like console dot log range a dot get value. And I forgot to that. So let's see what those. Okay, that's fine. We don't care about slow performance at the moment. Okay, so it did, and it is a blank value. So, oh, maybe a null. So if it's not equal to like a null, probably that's what it is. I'm guessing. Let's say. We could also do dot get row. It's less than the 100th row in this particular instance. This wouldn't necessarily be how I do something like this, but yeah, it doesn't like that. Maybe I forgot to do. It may need a double equal sign in Office script. That may be what's going on. Range a dot get value, right? And now we have to do that. Looks like it would return a string, and we want to tell it if it's not equal to blank. Let's see if that's it. No, it's still running. Okay, so let's just take it to the web and figure out Office scripts, how to test a range for blank. Okay. Yeah, it is. If values, in this instance, values is a range of values. So this would be the entirety of the range. Okay. So it looks like I have that right. So if it's not equal to blank, we want it to continue. Oops. So range, I wonder if I have to put a semicolon at the end. Office script, do while, semicolon needed. I don't think you need to, but I could be wrong. Oh no, I do need it. Maybe that's why. Yeah, it's not recognizing it. Okay. So it might not just be recognizing the while. All right, let's clear this out just so we can see it run. And then we'll run it. And there it goes. But it is still running. Let's stop it. Let's investigate what one of these is. It looks to be blank. Is null or just null or just null like that. Okay, so if it's equal to null, while it's not equal to null, maybe this will do it. All right, so we'll clear this out again. We'll save this script. We will run it. Oh, we're still running it. It's not, doesn't want to stop. So we could say, oh, we may have to add the word get value. I think we have this. I think this is good. Yeah, see, so cell value is get range by indexes. It's getting a specific row. I'm not sure what this 0 indicates. It looks like we are doing it right. So range A dot get range, and it's copying it. So we know it's in the correct area. I guess we could say, just to keep this simple, in this instance, we could say row A is less than 100, just so it does, or we can even do less than 20 because we have less than 20 records. So we can do something like this, and this should work. And if we run it, it should stop at the 20th. Yep, there we go. Yep, and 9 times 2 is 18, so the next one it would not fill. Okay, beautiful. So there we go. There's an example of converting a VBA, some VBA code into Office scripting.